Chancellor Angela Merkel agreed to a $545 billion pandemic recovery fund backed by borrowing by the entire bloc. It would be a major step toward greater European unity. Brussels, faced with economic calamity and the threat of the coronavirus further fracturing the European Union, Chancellor Angela Merkel of Germany on Monday broke with decades of German economic orthodoxy and agreed to back the idea of collective European debt to help those countries that have been hit hardest by the pandemic. If the other member states agree to the plan, it would be a major step toward a more unified Europe, and a sign that the pandemic might actually bring the bloc closer together instead of splintering it. Ms. Merkel joined with President Emmanuel Macron of France to propose borrowing €500 billion, or $545 billion, for a common recovery fund. Its repayment would be the financial responsibility of the entire bloc, but it would primarily benefit the poorer South, which has been hit hardest by the virus. Such a joint approach to borrowing has long been resisted by Germany and other member states in the north, and that reluctance has proved an obstacle to further European integration. In recent years, the European Union has been battered by a series of challenges that have shaken its foundations, from the migrant crisis to the exit of Britain from the bloc. Now, the pandemic is further dividing it, prompting border closures within the bloc and severely damaging the economies of member states. Southern states have been turning to Brussels for help and pushing better-off countries like Germany and the Netherlands for less selfishness and greater collective action. Back home in countries like Italy, where many feel abandoned by their neighbors, anti-European and populist sentiment has spiked markedly. In the face of this emergency, Mr. Macron said, Europe's two big powers have agreed to try to patch the deepening cracks and pull the bloc together with a real common strategy to supplement our European budget. This is a major step, he said. Mujtaba Rahman, chief European analyst for the Eurasia Group, said, it's a European revolution, if it goes through. For the first time, Mr. Rahman said, Europe will be able to raise money and transfer it directly to the countries, regions and industries most in need, without further impairing their economic situation by increasing their debt. Although the proposal represents a significant shift in German thinking, Ms. Merkel described it as a one-off effort, with Germany agreeing to a plan whereby the European Commission, using its excellent credit rating, would borrow money for the fund. The debt would be paid back over time through the joint European Union budget, which is financed by a set formula by member states. We are experiencing the biggest crisis in our history, Ms. Merkel said in a joint video news conference with Mr. Macron. It is time to fight back. Germany and France are fighting together for the European idea. She added, because of the unusual nature of the crisis we are choosing an unusual path. For Ms. Merkel, the proposal holds political risks at home, where it might bolster the far-right Alternative for Germany party, founded on a Eurosceptic platform. That party is just beginning to stir back to life as the country reopens. But the move might also be the only way to salvage a deeply divided currency union and the Chancellor's legacy on European unity.